One of my favorite places on the island is Live Edge Design. I love it because I'm a West Coast girl and the furniture is the epitome of West Coast with all the reclaimed wood and so much character to it. John, it's so great to be here today.
It's so great to have you. Thanks for coming.
How did you guys get started?
Well, I arrived on the island about 25 years ago and fell in love with West Coast architecture. Thought that it needed some West Coast furniture, something to bring nature into the house.
And each piece really is so unique. Nothing is exactly the same.
That's right. Because we salvage the wood, we basically take what's available, something that comes down in a storm, and we use the inspiration of whatever that wood provides us to make the furniture.
Well, I would like to go and take a look and see how everything's done.
We would love to show you. Our customers appreciate the touring through the place and picking out their own wood. And that's one of the things that makes it special.
Okay, let's go back to the shop.
All right.
This is such a great space. It's huge.
We need a lot of space because we work with these huge pieces of wood.
What's going on over here?
This is Stefan. He's making a coffee table for one of our customers.
Wow, so it's got the live edge on the side, and look at this grain on the top.
Well, the beautiful thing about big leaf maple, which is what we mostly use here, is that every piece is different. It's always got a lot of figure and color. It gives us lots of variety.
How's it going to stand up on this side?
It's just going to fall over. Usually they have a metal leg or sometimes a clear acrylic leg.
And this is maple from Vancouver Island?
This is maple from Vancouver Island, mostly Cowichan Valley. Let's say you have a tree in your yard that's fallen down in a windstorm or something, we'll come and get that and turn it into furniture.
It's amazing. And so do you usually keep the bark on or take that off?
We usually take it off. We leave it on as long as we can to protect the edge, but it always falls off eventually, so we'll take it off just before we make the piece.
And each piece looks so unique. Does it kind of dictate the design of the furniture piece?
Yeah, the most fun design we have is when we don't have a customer yet and we can make an interesting piece of wood into whatever we want.
And whether it be furniture, boardroom tables, islands, you kind of do it all, don't you?
Yeah. If it's suitable for a big piece of wood, we do it. We make any kind of custom furniture, but that's our specialty.
So how do I make my selection though? It's very overwhelming. Do I just come in here and look at every piece of wood, or you help make the recommendations?
It would be overwhelming to look at all the pieces of wood. So we try and find out what you want, what you like, and then our sales staff will narrow down the selection and we'll take it from there.
And is it always maple?
No, it's not always maple. It's mostly maple, but we use sometimes oak and arbutus, fir, lots of walnut as well.
Lots of variety then. And what are some of the key pieces that you guys create?
We do a lot of hospitality work, but we also do a lot of residential work. It's a real mix. Dining tables are my favorite, so we do a lot of dining tables, but also countertops, coffee tables, consoles.
I'd really like to see your stuff in a West Coast home.
Well, let's go check one out.
Okay, let's go. Wow, not only is this a stunning backdrop for your furniture, this piece, amazing. This is probably my favorite table I've ever seen.
Mine too.
Yeah, and it's funny too how each piece is so unique, the design is so different.
Well, a lot of the pieces that we made in this house came from wood off the property.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
This one didn't, however. But these pieces were out of one of the largest maple trees I've ever seen, about 8 feet in diameter, and just gorgeous colors. Every piece has got figure and color galore.
Well, and the warm wood really ties in with the architecture of the home as well, because they have multiple pieces of yours. The dining room table, awesome.
When we started working with pieces from this property, there was quite a bit of selection. There was some maple trees that had to come down because they're getting too old, and the property owner really wanted to work with that, get some pieces that would fit with the architecture, but added bonus of being wood that came off the property.
After the wood's taken off the property, after the design's completed, it's probably a little bit of work to dry out the wood and take it from there.
It takes about a year to get through all of that, but it's so special for people that have wood off their own property. It gives them a story to tell and keeps the memory alive.
And each piece is a little bit different. Like if you notice this table, is this resin in the knots here?
Yeah, we use a vegetable oil-based epoxy resin that goes in there. It's non-toxic, and it instead of cutting out holes like that, we like to make them a feature. It adds to the natural element of the piece.
And I've seen some of your pieces with the black in it, but I really like the clear. It almost looks like fossilized.
Yeah, it's like amber. You expect to see a little dragonfly in there or something.
It's true. And this coffee table is beautiful. I really like those bow tie joints there.
Thanks. This is a piece of wood that came off the property. And in our usual fashion, instead of cutting out that crack, we made it into a feature using some ebony butterflies. Same with the piece of glass that just covers that part of the tree that had a rotten limb coming out of it.
So I guess a question that I have for you is, how much do you have to baby this product? Do you have to really be careful about getting any water or heat on it?
Well, we had a fun session at the shop where we ordered pizza and we brought in some red wine, we made coffee.
You didn't invite me.
Next time. But we spilled, mustard and ketchup and red wine and coffee and pizza all over. It was great. We had a really good messy meal.
And it came out.
And it came out.
So don't try it at home, but if it happens, don't stress about it too much.
That's right.
Well, you've totally inspired me to head outside, go hunt down a tree, and I think we should design our own piece of furniture.
Well, if you just wait for the next snowstorm or windstorm and give us a call if your tree falls over.
I can do that. Thank you.
Okay.